Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. This is going to be a birthday reading for Virgo. What's going on, Virgo? Welcome to your birthday season. Welcome to your birthday reading with me. Wherever you are in the world, my friends, I hope you're able to celebrate your special day and really have a good time. 2020 has been one hell of a roller coaster for everybody. But again, if you're able to celebrate, I hope it goes well. I hope you're surrounded by people who know and love you so much, Virgo, at this time, okay? And of course, please keep yourself safe, happy, and healthy at this time. Again, 2020, COVID-19, coronavirus. What a trip it has been thus far. You guys, Virgo, your season starts at the end of August and runs through to the end of September. That's 9 months, man, that we've all been kind of living in this strange alternate universe, maybe. Anyway, guys, I don't want to drone on too much about current state of affairs. Again, this is about your birthday season, so as best you can and where you can, I hope you have an amazing time celebrating your solar return. Okay. If you've been with the channel before and you've seen your birthday message in previous years, you will see that things are different. With the Leo season, because that's where I started birthday messages like 2 years ago or whatever it was. Anyway, I designed a new kind of format. And I shouldn't even say kind of. It is a totally new format. So what you see on the table, you have 5 distinct areas or mini readings that you're going to get. They pertain to different areas of your life. So this first card here is what's going on with your mental body at this time during your birthday season. Again, running from about August 23rd, which is today, until about September 22nd, but different sources pin down the days differently. But that's the one I use. So mental body for Virgo. Physical body for Virgo, your actual physical circumstances, your health, your wellness, things like that. This is going to be your spiritual body, so what's going on with you in terms of your spirituality, what needs development there, or, whatever the central focus is, because these are Kipper cards and they're not exactly like tarot, and I might explain that a little bit more later. The 4th position down here is going to speak to your purpose, like what is it that you're meant to be focused on at this time, or what is the overall focus of your life's journey, period. Okay, so we'll explore that a little bit. And this 5th position down here is going to be any information or any central focus on what spiritual or soul connections you have with other people. So 5 readings in one, sort of, kind of, but they are mini, so we're not really going to go into depth too much, but your girl can talk, so you're going to get a lot of messages here and information here. So Virgo, for your season, you have this message. You've got September, both the overall messages and the overall monthly, and then the mid-monthly coming up. I will be doing your live. I forget the date. Where's my phone? Because I think I already selected which Saturday. So let me double check the calendar. I probably already wrote. No, I didn't. But it's probably going to be September 12th. Yeah, because the 5th is like too soon. So September 12th, I will go live here on the channel for you guys. And I will be doing readings specifically for Virgos in chat who want to have a question answered with me live, okay? And then, of course, yeah, so those are the main ones. This, the live, and the 2 readings for September. If you want a personal reading, that information is in the description box. You can hit me up at any time. Also, down there, you will see the timestamp if you want to jump ahead to when the reading truly begins. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, you will see that information is also down there. There's a link to that if you want to follow me over there, okay? Anything else? No, if I need to explain like the differences between the Kipper deck, some of you might be already familiar with it, so you might not need it, but if I need to, I will go into little detail into what it's all about, okay? So, let's get into it. For Virgo, please. Oh, everything's been, pre-shuffled and meditated on. It's just a matter of sort of reconnecting very quickly. For Virgo, please, during their birthday season. That's good. They like that. Okay. So, that's shuffled. Let's see what the first card is that's going to be focused on what's going on with your mental body at this time during your birthday season. Let's see what the jazz is all about. And it says message. Card number 7. Message. So, some of you are anticipating a message. Some of you, when I say message, let's just go with communication. It's sort of more of a, although maybe some of you are actually, they're like, they're like, wait a minute, hold on. Because I was like, well, communication is the same thing as message. They're like, no. Some of you are literally waiting on mail. Could be a package, could be a letter in the mail, could be certified mail. Something is notarized, something is official. Because the reason I say that is there's a seal on that envelope, right? A wax seal, which is, back in the day, the way you could show that the mail hadn't been tampered with before you received it. Same thing today, if the envelope is open, you can tell that someone's been in there. But, to crack a wax seal is very noticeable. But yeah, you've got letter writing equipment. You do have a telephone in the image here. So some of you could be waiting on communication with a person, or a certain conversation is important. Certain, again, pieces of mail, packages are important. Something about communication, messages, letters is very important to your mental body at this time. So let's get some further information on this for Virgo, please. Why is message here regarding their mental body? Why is it the central focus at this time during their birthday season? Please show me. Interesting. I don't normally pick, but they were like, right there, pick it. There we go. 7 of Pentacles. One more, please, for Virgo. Okay, so 2 more. Not just 1, but 2 more. So the first card that came out, was the 10 of Swords. Oh boy. 7 of Pentacles. And then with that, these two came together, the Father of Swords and Judgment. So, some of you are looking for official documentation so that something can properly be wrapped up. Something can properly be put to bed. 10 of Swords. Considerable ending. Considerable... I already said that. Not considerable. What's the other word? Considerable ending. Painful ending, obviously. I mean, we see this... What is it? A bison? Something like that? A bull of some type? Being speared. So painful, considerable. It's massive, is how they're making me come across. This is no small, thanks for playing, here's your parting gift kind of ending for you guys, Virgo. It feels very significant. Could be the ending of an era, like a particular season in your life, so to speak. You might be leaving, it is your birthday season, so some of you might be leaving your 30s, going into your 40s, leaving your 20s, going into your 30s, leaving your 50s, going into your 60s, you get it. And so there is sort of like this days gone by, what used to be, and it used to be very significant, very powerful, very strong, being that that's a bison. That's not like some, very fairy-like or very cutesy animal. It's a very stern and powerful animal. And there's possibly, in some of your cases, a very brutal ending to whatever I'm talking about. It's a mixed bag, because some of you are just going through life and it's peachy keen, and others of you, you're going through this ending and it's monumental. It's like a whole new precedence is being set in your life and you didn't expect it, right? Regardless of the type of ending we're talking about, it is long overdue. Because long overdue, or, okay, first I'll address that and then I'll address the other thing, because they're showing me distinctions between, given the artwork there. It's long overdue because one of the things I understand about hunting, or what I understand about injured animals, those who take care of them, those who hunt them, I don't know. But there is this idea of mercy killing. We do it with our pets, right? When you have an animal, when you have a pet and they're suffering, you take them to the vet, and the veterinarian lets you know it's terminal, or they let you know this is about it. I mean, I've seen this with many of friends and their dogs and their cats. They go and euthanize the animal because you don't want to see that animal suffer anymore. So you, again, mercy, right? That could be one way that we read that 10 of Swords. The other way that we can read this is overkill. meaning someone has taken an ending and they're like salt in the wound of it. Could be you, could be someone else. I don't know who this is, or I don't know how many people I'm talking about even. I don't know what area of life this is in, but you know it. It's your life. You know it. This other way of reading the Ten of Swords is so much more, not even so much more. It's a different kind of pain, because to lose a loved one, an animal, a person, whatever, and you don't want to see that go, but you know it's the best way. Again, with, mercy killing if you're hunting, I suppose, and then euthanasia when it comes to, your pets. That's a different kind of pain to an ending than when there's bitterness. Like I said, overkill. If you look at one of those swords, it's going through the skull, or at least one or two of them are going through the skull, and at least one is going through the eye sockets of this animal. That's cruelty, right? So some of you are in a situation where it feels incredibly cruel, this ending. Seven of Pentacles after that. Evaluation periods. Or an evaluation period, where how you're invested in your physical space, your money, your job, your stability is being heavily evaluated. That would filter back to message and getting certain communication in the mail or official documents. I feel some of you might be audited by the IRS, maybe. If you own a business, that's a different type of audit. Some of you could just be doing a non-official audit of your entire life. That has been going on in the collective for weeks, if not months now, that we are all doing some type of personal evaluation. We're leading up the the auditing team, or we're being conscious of what we're doing, when we're doing it, who we're doing it with, how much we're spending, all kinds of things. In some of your cases, this is going to be very central on cash, money that you've invested, money that you've saved, money that is sort of set up in a certain type of account and is accruing interest. But I feel like somebody is fighting over money. Like someone has put money away, or is, responsible for some type of funds, and then someone else is trying to come after that money. Could be alimony. Thank you. That's another one. They threw that out there. Alimony. Because, again, we talked about endings. And, not all Virgos out here are married or committed or anything like that. Or you don't even share finances in some of your cases with anyone else. But I feel in those cases where you intermingle with another person and it's based on a marriage or some type of commitment, something like alimony or child support is being contested or being fought for or something like that. It's very serious, because what precedes it, like I told you, could feel like overkill. If you are breaking up with someone, divorcing, walking away, if you're leaving a business, leaving trying to get out of some type of partnership in the business sense, and you want it to be amicable, or they want it to be amicable, but somebody wants to drag it through the mud, somebody wants, to throw another 15 swords in the back of the other person, it's just going to drag on, and it's just going to be nasty, right? So I feel that is here too. If you're not on that trajectory, because it's not for everybody, that this is a nasty thing, it's still very heavy on Virgo going forward. You want to know what you need to do. Some of you might be asking, how much does it cost to get this out of my life? This person, this property, I don't want to own this. I don't want anything to... Some of you are like, no contest, no contest. I don't even care. Just release me. Release me from all this trouble, because I want peace, for God's sakes. Yes, I'm recalling what's next. You want peace. Now, some of you are like, the Father of Swords wants peace? Father of Swords, aka King of Swords, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You could be dealing with an air sign. You don't have to be. Yes, the King of Swords versus the Queen of Swords would want peace way more than the Queen of Swords would. The King of Swords is not a pacifist all the time, but he's not going to argue. And I say he only because it's the father and king and all that stuff. I could be talking about a woman. I could be talking to you. I don't know who this is, but whoever this person is, they don't want to argue. If it doesn't make sense, Maybe it doesn't make actual sense, dollars and cents. But if it doesn't make sense to the mind, the King of Swords or the Father of Swords is not going to engage in it. What's the point in wasting my breath arguing about this? What do I have to do to get out of this? What's the quickest way I can relieve myself from this stress? Tell me, tell them, tell whoever, share that information freely, because the king, again, the Father of Swords is just, I get the sense that somebody knows what this is. In some cases, this feels like someone is trying to drag another person back into some type of kerfuffle, some type of fuckery, basically, okay? Some type of drama, right? And another person is just like, I don't want to be involved in the drama. I really don't. How can I leave this as quickly as possible, as cleanly as possible? Now, cleanly, quickly, those can all sound like a good way to leave a situation, but in other cases that could create a lot of mess. Because if somebody just wants to throw their responsibilities out the window and they have to file paperwork, they have to go through the court system, they have to pay fines or pay certain dues and all this other kind of stuff, and they skirt that responsibility for the sake of just leaving it all behind, that tends to obviously speak to someone being very self-serving and very immature in the situation. So I would tread lightly with thinking this person, whether that be you or someone else, is actually quote unquote above it all and trying to be, taking the high ground or being above board. They want mental peace above everything else. And whether or not their tactic is correct, their desire is not to be involved in drama, period, paragraph, as my mother would say. Final card in this spread is the Judgment card. Secondary major arcana for Scorpio. Some of you could be dealing with a Scorpio, but you don't have to be. This is that freedom that this person wants. Could be you, could be someone else, could be the both of you, but you're going out about it differently, approaching it differently. This is some type of freedom, and that's not usually the first word I think I say when I see the Judgment card, but in this particular deck, it kind of looks like that. You see this one white bird, possibly a phoenix, but we can't tell because of the color scheme here, but it's very large and it looks very mythical to me. So it could be like an impression of a phoenix, but it's a white colored bird amongst a flock of black birds. Now, that to me is signaling enlightenment. That to me is signaling in like a lightening of the situation, like where it was dark and dreary before, full of drama, full of pain, full of confusion perhaps, full of all kinds of crap that nobody wants to deal with, especially this Father of Swords, whoever it may be. And the Father of Swords could have been either the person inserting the swords or the person who was having the swords inflicted on them back in the Ten of Swords. I can't tell. Or it could just be someone else. I have no idea. But the Judgment says, enough of this. And what do we say about the Judgment card when we encounter it in tarot? It's about making judgment calls. It's about firmly deciding when and where to put something to bed and where and when to revive something. I don't sense, with everything that we talked about before, that this is about revival. It could be for some of you. We definitely could read it that way, where something ended, then we come back and we reevaluate. Should we reinvest in something that has ended previously, or something that has caused us pain previously, a connection of a type, a situation of a type? And then we might, logically try and process that information. And we might have contingencies. Okay, if I'm going to invest in this again, there can be no BS about it. There can be no stress about it. If I'm going to come back and get involved in that situation once more, everybody, including myself, better be off of that bullshit and, no drama. Like that freaking Mary J. Blige song, no drama, right? And that could be the reinvestment, or that could be the contingency or the conditions, I should say, of seeing something come back. So for those where this is about reconciliation, although that is a way smaller number of you, like way smaller, like maybe just one or two of you, I don't see it. I see it mostly as an ending. Okay. Now for your physical body, or your no, that's the way I say it. Your physical body, or your isn't that what I say? Physical body. Yes. Oh, your physical body and or your health and wellness. Thank you. That's how I normally say it. Central focus is the main female. All right. Main female. So for some, it's going to be you. You are the main female. Most, I don't think it's a secret. Most people who watch tarot tend to be female. So this could be you, Virgo, but it doesn't have to be. I don't want to relate it exclusively to what we just discussed in the first reading, but it is carrying over from there a little bit. If this is about endings and rebirths and all that kind of stuff, or this journey of the phoenix from the ashes, the phoenix from the dark flock of like crows and ravens and all that kind of crap, right? This would be the new starting point, the self. What is happening with the main person, the individual, subjective person, right? If it's not that, the main female in your life, because we're combining this with tarot, I'm going to open it up and say it could just mean feminine energy. And when that happens, we don't really hammer on the gender. Although, because Kipper is the background of all of these readings, it very highly is going to be a female-bodied person, okay? But take it all with a grain of salt. It's a general reading for potentially hundreds of people, if not a couple dozen people. Anyway, so let's get some further information here. It feels like this person, okay, hold on. They're like, what, Jay, keep going. It feels like, and this deck is like Victorian Europe imagery, right? Where really that was like the beginning of like the bourgeois classes, aka the middle class. When the true meaning of bougie or bourgeois is middle class. Middle class. It's very little to do with actual elitism. Or rather, it was the emergence of the middle class that began to participate in elitism and in order to distinguish themselves from the lower classes. Okay? Anyway, I don't know why I'm giving you a freaking history lesson. And don't quote me because I'm not an expert. It's just what I learned in like 1 or 2 courses. Anyway, I feel like this is someone who is learning about their bourgeois ways. They're new to something about new to. I'm new to this. Because this is a person of age. This is not a child. This is an adult. But I'm getting this energy that says this person is new to this, new to whatever might be explored coming up in the tarot. So we'll see. So let's clarify the main female for Virgo. Why is the main female here for Virgo? Let's get some clarification on that with the tarot, please. What is the main female all about regarding Virgo's physical body? Physical and, what did I say? Health and wellness. Physical body, your physical wellness. Let's see. Main female, what's up with that? Oh, that's very interesting. So, I'll explain that in a second. 2 more, please. 2 of Pentacles. That might make sense. Oh man, that's very specific. But that might be important. So we'll see. 1 more, please, for Virgo in their physical body and their health and wellness. What's going on there? And the 3 of Pentacles. That's progression. Okay. So, first card that came out to clarify was... Ooh. Wow! Okay. The Magician. And I'm going to explain why I'm wowing, because it's not going to apply to everybody. The Magician. 2 of Pentacles. And the 3 of Pentacles. Now, why am I wowing? Because your girl Jay, I get very specific messages, and I don't ever know if it applies to the people that need to hear it. But I got in my mind a trans story where I just said someone is coming into the newness of their bourgeoisie or their bourgeois status. And that still stands true. But because this is main female and there's a high emphasis on feminine energy or the appearance of femininity, right? I'm feeling there is a story, Virgo. It could be your story, could be someone else, and this could be dealing with someone that you live with, someone that you're physically in proximity to, that they are going through a trans story or a trans experience, okay? And when I say trans, I mean transgender. That's what I mean, right? And these three cards kind of talk about that, because in general, the Magician talks about transmutation, the ability to make what is above come down to the earth, come down to the 3D realm and become real, right? It's making what you can envision a reality. Two of Pentacles, not really the meaning of it, but particularly the image there. That's a butterfly. What do we know about butterflies? They don't look like that when they first, come out. They exist as a caterpillar first. They literally transform their body before they become a butterfly, right? And then this Three of Pentacles is about progression. It is about putting in work. It is about physical, being dedicated to a physical manifestation or process. Thank you. Not a well, could be both, because the Magician came out first, but it is about a certain process, right? If you wanted to climb that mountain, you're not just going to do it willy-nilly. You gotta plan for it. You gotta take the right equipment with you, wear the right shoes, go at the right time of year. You can't, you know what I mean? So there's forethought involved. Now, that is not going to apply to even the majority of you, right? So who would that apply to? I don't know, but I support you. Godspeed. Now, going back to what I feel it's mostly about, realizing status, realizing and understanding, or, okay, perhaps awareness of your own femininity, whether you're male or female, right? Embracing that possibly for the first time. Appreciating your personal beauty, whatever that is. If you're proud of your body, if you hate your body. If you love your eyes or you hate your eyes. I don't know. But there is working around with that, or work being done in that vicinity, work being done in that realm. Maybe you're leaving certain situations, relationships, people, environments, or self-perceptions where you never thought you were attractive. And this isn't a card that is, speaking wholly to this person being attractive or beautiful, but it's very apparent. There's something very on the, not the surface, upfront. There's something very upfront about the physical appearance of this person. So Virgo, some of you might be doing, similar to that story I was just talking about, working in a spiritual way, trying to manifest the physical body you want, or the physical, if not physical body, the healthy body that you want, whatever that means to you, whatever you need to be healthy, right? Magician is secondary major for you, Virgo, as well as Gemini, so you could be dealing with another Virgo or Gemini. But again, I feel this is mostly self-contained energy. So what do I mean by working with the body that you want to be healthy? For some of you, that could mean, gaining weight, losing weight, whatever. In other cases, this might mean certain medical procedures you need to go have done. This could mean getting, right with your prescription medications. This could be about seeing a mental health professional, right? Wellness is more than just the physical body. So that's why, even though I call it the body, I do want to incorporate the wellness part of it, the health part of it, because there's so many ways we can look at those concepts. And it's coming from this way, the focus is, again, on the self. If this isn't you, you're focused on someone in that way. So if you're not, going back to the trans story, if you're not the trans person, the transgendered person, you could have someone in your life who is doing that. They could be becoming a female, and you want to support them, or you're helping them as they manifest this for themselves. You see what I mean? So if it's not, the energy is focused on you, Virgo, and what you're going through and how you're trying to bring to life this ideal physical self, or this ideal balanced, healthy self, right? You would be trying to facilitate or assist someone else going through that. And the Magician has that capability, okay? So the Magician is a capable energy. It has awareness, or when I say energy, I mean when it's in a person. This person is aware. This person is very thoughtful is the word. I don't know why I said thoughtful. Why am I whispering? It feels like almost possibly in some cases maybe obsessively thinking about this person, or obsessively thinking about these changes and transformations. it's very like in the front of the mind at all times, becoming better, becoming healthier, losing weight, gaining muscle, eating better, quit smoking, quit drinking, whatever, give up this, take on this new behavior, whatever. It's just like constant, aha. I'm like, where's this constant coming from? You see on the chest of this, what is it, a cheetah? I think it's a cheetah. Or is it a leopard? What's the difference? I don't know. Anyway, you see on the chest, the infinity symbol? Constant. You don't break infinity symbols. You don't break that. So it's possibly driving some of you a little crazy, okay? So be careful with that, because the magician can give over, and we see it again. The magician can give over and become, like I said, obsessive and definitely fixated on the outcome, right? And that's never good. You know, a true magician in tarot knows when to release it, knows when they've given all they can to the situation, and then it's just time to wait, or it's time for other people to contribute, whatever it is, right? So this could be also a fixation on control, right? Now, what do I say? Oh, we see it again. So we see the infinity symbol again when we come to the Two of Pentacles. So like I said, in some of your cases, this is about working with someone else. Or, oh wait, that's why I'm saying that, because of the Three of Pentacles. I'm like, that's not Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles, I do feel some of you might be seeking a particular partnership or advice from a person. As in the cases where we're talking about monumental changes to your physical body, some of you might be consulting with a surgeon. That could be a plastic surgeon. That could be a reconstruction of something happened to your body, like a hip replacement. I don't know. But there is like this, I'm seeing people like sit in an office and having a consultation and talking about what's going to happen, how much this is going to cost, when can this happen, what, blah, 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 blah. And again, that could all trickle back to what we were talking about in the first reading, right? But I do see like behind closed doors, like talking with someone one-on-one. That's very interesting. And it could be a doctor or a lawyer, someone in those capacities that's you know, an expert in their field. Could also be, for some of you, this main female, like I talked about in the beginning, bourgeois, coming on and realizing like they're in a certain social class and they didn't know that, or it's new to them. Like something about this I feel is like new. They didn't know, or they have very little experience with this. So if this is about cash, it could be that someone is seeking financial advice, like with a financial advisor, and they want to know how to invest their money, how to save their money, something like that. And again, we were talking earlier about fighting over money, yeah? And then the Three of Pentacles. An up step. One step up, thank you, is how I want to say that, from the Two of Pentacles. So again, it's about putting in the work. In many cases, it is going to be about negotiations or partnerships, working in tandem with another person. If this filters back to that first situation that we were talking about with your mental body, this could be, you know, the settlement after all the dust has settled. What is the program in place? What is the payment plan in place that we have in order to cover, you know, like I said, alimony, child support. In some cases, this could be paying back debt that is owed to you, or you owe debt, or whatever it is. And it's a steady climb. It's not an overnight thing. It's not, you know, if you're owed, you know, $25,000, you're not going to get that in one lump sum, because whoever you're asking for it from, they don't have it. They really don't have it, but there is something going to be put in place so that you can incrementally work towards that apex, work towards that top of the mountain, which is where you want to go. These initial steps is basic, or excuse me, these initial steps at the bottom of the mountain, that's where you are, or that's where you're going to be. You're making those initial steps, and that still makes sense if we talk about the changes and the transformations to physical body and or health and wellness. You want to lose weight, you want to gain weight, you're not going to do that overnight. They don't make that pill, not yet, you know? So it's going to take some time for all of that to develop. And there could be, oh, I just realized, 1, 2, 3. Wow. Took me putting it down in that way while I was yammering on. 1, 2, 3. So step by step by step. It's not going to happen overnight. So pace yourself. I feel there is there are a few of you Virgos who are very impatient and you don't want to wait, but you will wait. There's nothing you can do about it. All right, so the next area is your spiritual realm, your spiritual body. Let's see what the main focus is according to the Kipper. Oh my God. Listen, maybe next time I'll record the shuffling because I don't trifle with the decks. Anyway, courthouse. So in your spiritual body, courthouse. Card 23, add that together, that's a 5. Previous cards for the Kipper were 7 and 2, if that makes any difference to you. Courthouse, wow. Wait, I'm always putting it back. For some of you, you have legal issue, okay? And I keep feeling this energy of changing, endings, transformation, transmutation. Those all speak to you're not going to court to set something up. You're going to court to dismantle something. If you are going to court, if you are waiting for official documents in the mail, it's not to begin to file paperwork to start. It's filing paperwork to end something, right? Oh, wow. Jesus. In some of your cases, what is this? Now, this is, I feel with that type of wig and that type of robe, if there's a European friend out there who could verify, I assume this would be a barrister, aka a lawyer, not a judge. I'm pretty sure the judge wears the very long wig with all the curls, and these smaller wigs are for the barristers. I could be wrong, but if anybody in Europe is watching, anybody particular to the UK is watching, please let me know. So if this is a lawyer, you're talking to a lawyer. Now, why is this in the spiritual space? Maybe you're not talking. Okay, not that you're not, but you could be dealing in the physical 3D earthbound court system, dealing with connections and ties that not only exist here in this world, in this reality that we perceive, but it also exists in your spiritual reality, your spiritual realms, or the people you're involved with, the lawyer, the person you're suing, the person who is suing you, the person you're seeking alimony from, or vice versa, whatever. That could be the spiritual connection. We'll find out. So, jeez, what's going on here for Virgo? Why is courthouse the central focus of their spiritual body? Why is courthouse the central focus of Virgo's spiritual body? Please show us. Why is courthouse the central focus of Virgo's spiritual body? No. Okay. Is that 2? No. The star in the center. One more, please. For Virgo's spiritual body. Why is it here? Listen. Damn. Whew. Wherever the feminine energy is, with you, with someone else, I don't know. The feminine energy is very apparent here today. The first card was the 9 of Wands. Oh, God, yes. This makes so much sense. 9 of Wands. The star in the center. And then the Empress. Listen, friends, listen. I already told you up here, this has been a long time in the making. First card, 9 of Wands. You've been walking up this staircase forever. You know what this is like? This is like walking up an escalator that's going down, but you're going in the opposite direction. You're trying to walk up an escalator that is headed down. You don't go anywhere. You end up being in the same place over and over and over again. Every step you take, by the time you lift your other foot to replace it, you're just walking in the same spot. Jesus, who is this? Why is this? Maybe that's the question. Why is this? And then they're like, because it's the spiritual body, Jay. You know why. I don't know what you believe, Virgo, and I don't know what you put emphasis on or how much faith you put in what you're watching right now, which is a tarot reading by an anonymous person here on Earth. But there are purposes and reasons to everything. And for whatever reason, it's for you to discern, it's for you to know. There was something about the repetitiveness of what was going on in this situation that you're going to court over, or that you're examining or dealing with in an official capacity. For many of you, I feel this is about a connection with another person. It does not have to be romantic, but it is business at least. Or it could be business, property ownership, could be, in some cases, emancipation issues between you and your young adult child or your adolescent child. I have no idea. Okay. So I don't want you all to kind of think it's about me and my loved one, me and my partner, my romantic partner. It doesn't have to be that. But there is this purpose. There is this, why am I saying this? Please clear this up for me. Interesting. Okay. So what this feels like, remember what I just said about escalator, walking up the down escalator. It feels like you're doing this walk, or whoever it was. It could be the other person. I don't know. They're walking up this escalator that continues to go down, and they're not making any progress. And that tires a person out, right? I don't know about you, but, or another way you could think of this is the Stairmaster, right? When you go to the gym and you see people on that thing, they look exhausted. You ever watch somebody on the Stairmaster in the gym versus somebody on the treadmill, or somebody, like the stairs is just like, it's tiresome, right? So somebody is doing this. And because it's in the spiritual body, it shows a willfulness. Willfully tiring yourself in a situation where, like I said earlier in the first stack with the 10 of Swords, there possibly was, it was long gone. There was constant effort being put into something that was already DOA, already complete, or already needing to be completed. Let's say it that way. It needed completion. So what has happened, because I feel that this is building up to those stairs, those stairs that you keep climbing, but you never really go anywhere, right? They eventually halt and they become fixed. They become stationary, right? And so your motion then begins to climb you up to the top, right? And once you reach the top of the stairs, ooh, that's interesting. Look, top of the stair on the first card has a moon. And then after that, you have the star. And this is your spiritual body. Again, I don't know what you believe in and what you don't believe in, but some of you might need to look into your moon sign. You might want to find, since this is the star card, if you have Aquarius anywhere significant in your chart, and maybe that has information to you, or you just need to have an openness to guidance, period. Period, Virgo. You or someone else. There's a need to be open to the stars above you. However that hits your ear, whatever that means to you, right? How I'm interpreting this, you have guidance up there. You have spirit guides. You've got angels if you believe in them. You've got other versions of yourself in different dimensions or different lifetimes who are looking out for you. You've got ancestral angels, ancestral spirits, whatever you believe in or don't believe in. You've got one central man and his son, Jesus Christ, or one central creator and his son, Jesus Christ, is on your side. Whatever you believe in or don't believe in, that's out there to help you and heal you and guide you from the star energy. Because you've spent so long, or whoever, and I'm saying you, it could be the other way around, please take it all with a grain of salt. Because when you've been walking that Stairmaster, that escalator that kept you in one place, when you're that tired, you lose a lot of sense, right? You lose a lot of sense. What did I say before? Possibly about that Father of Swords, wanting to get out and just toss all responsibilities out the window. Well, you owe this money. You can't leave unless this happens first. Why would someone be in that state of mind in the first place? Because they have been ground down. They're exhausted. And when you're exhausted, you kind of call uncle. Whatever you want, I just want to get out of here, right? So there could be a situation where somebody leaves with nothing. Now, if you're the main female, where we were talking about you get something, or no, they're like, it is true. They're like, it is true. Hold on. For those where it's not about getting money, you might lose money, but then have to restart on your own dollars. your own checkbook. Does that make sense? Or it makes sense. For those where it makes sense, or excuse me, for those where it hits, it makes sense. Thank you. Because I'm like, how can you throw caution to the wind but still end up with money? How can you, possibly skirt your responsibilities and still end up winning? I don't have those details. It's not for me to answer that question. I'm just wondering, as a person sitting here reading and interpreting your story. Now, more specifically to the star, what else is there for Virgo? Please tell me. Some of you might but some of you might benefit from counsel from a star, meaning someone famous might be an inspiration to you right now, or someone that you can confide in. Some of you might be friends with someone who's like really, really famous, or just moderately famous, whatever. And they might be a really good support system to you right now. If not, again, look up to the stars, like in the cosmic sense, in a sense of, what is out there besides us. So yeah, I feel like this is a helpful energy. This star, after the exhausting journey of walking up these stairs and finally reaching the top, this is a place, a person, an event in some of your cases. Like I feel like maybe like a festival, or, time set aside. So some of you might, get deep into the business of self-care, but this feels like a place that can nurture you, that can revitalize you. Like I feel like putting, like, it's very dramatic, but it's like putting blood back into your body, putting air back into your lungs after it's all been taken away. There it is. And the reason for that, or what it leads to, is this Empress energy. Secondary major for Libra and, I'm about to blank. Taurus and Libra, thank you. So you could be dealing with a Taurus or a Libra, but you don't have to be. If this is, again, this could be another person. It doesn't have to be, or this can be all self-contained. But the marker of the Empress is that of nurturing. The marker of the Empress, or the traits that we associate with this card, is that of creating safe, stable, secure, abundant environments and places. In terms of taking care of, or speaking to this area of the spiritual body. This is someone or an energy that enriches that in you, that cultivates that for you. Again, you could be doing this for yourself. It doesn't have to be an outside person. So this could be dedicating yourself, because I do, again, see like this effort put in, bit of a rest and relaxation in the middle part, and then eventually getting down to business. What is the business we want to get down to? Nurturing ourselves. Making sure that our spirit feels good as we walk out the door every day. If we don't feel good spiritually, what do we have to do to check in? Do we need a meditation? Do we need a guided meditation? Do we need, nature sounds? Do we need a salt bath? Do we need to do a ritual? Do we need to have a tarot card reading? Or something outside of that realm completely? Do I need to go for a 10-mile run? All right, go for it. That is spiritual for somebody in this world. But whatever is going to reinvigorate you, inspire you, and make you feel safe, secure, happy, that's what you want to be doing. Those are the types of people you want to be around. And it all comes back to that court situation. And whatever's going on there legally, it's very official. Oh boy. Interesting. So we're going to move on now to a different tarot deck, because I like these three to be, or at least I designed it so that those three deal with one deck. And so now we're going to move on to another deck, and we're going to talk about purpose. So what is Virgo's purpose at this time? What is the central focus of their area of purpose? What is it in their life that is giving them purpose, that is challenging them perhaps in their purpose or concept of purpose, something like that. I haven't really ironed out like what purpose is about, but I was guided to, assign one of these as purpose. So what is the central focus? Oh my God, what are you doing, Virgo? Courtship. Okay. Courtship. Yay. Well, again, For those where this is about a particular relationship, which is not for everybody, but for those where it has a romantic leaning, here's the message for you guys. That relationship, no matter what stage it is in, has been a part of your life's purpose, has been a very integral part of your life's purpose or journey, right? It has, or it will, I don't know which way I'm supposed to refer to this, it has or it will, it provides you something. Connection, maybe. Stability, maybe. Recognition is kind of what they're making me feel. Like, knowing that someone gets you, knowing that someone, okay, that's how it's going. Knowing that someone, I don't like this language, but I know it resonates with lots of people, like completes you. And that's dangerous language. Nobody completes you, okay? Nobody. In my estimation, that's not healthy. That can signal codependency. Doesn't have to, but it can. But what I'm sensing here is this idea of like fulfillment and, like I said, recognition and having that with another person. You might have that now. You might be releasing that. You might be creating that. I don't know. You might, in some of your cases, feel that you have it, but then that's not like, you know, what's that card? Like karmic partners, false twins, things like that. And I'm throwing out words that some of you might be familiar with. I'm not calling it because we haven't clarified it yet. But it's stuff like that where the person or the connection that you thought was the one might not be the one because of everything we talked about up here. It's slightly separate because they are 5 mini readings, but they all have like a thread between them because it's your reading, right? So let's clarify, for God's sakes. So please clarify with this tarot deck for Virgo why courtship is the central focus of their purpose at this time. Why is courtship the central focus for Virgo's purpose at this time? Whoa. Last one, thank you. Why is courtship the central focus for Virgo at this time? Just come on. Justice. God. You know, I shouldn't be surprised because tarot is like this. Oh my gosh. One more, please. And they give me 2 more. Great. All right. And I see what those are. I already see them. I already know what they are. So the first one was justice. After that, the 10 of swords again. Listen. Listen. Yep. Moon and 6 of cups. Ooh. And why am I upset? Because I feel some of you are upset. And I'm not even upset. It's more of like that's not the clarity that we needed. This is just further either confusion or painful affirmation. It's going to go either way or both ways. We'll find out. So why is courtship the central focus of your purpose right now? For those where you had a connection. Doesn't have to be romantic, but because of the Kipper deck, it looks very romantic. But so for those where it is romantic, you feel like I'm like putting like a highlighter over those relationships. There you go. You're extra pronounced here. But it can be business. It can be family also. I didn't mention that much, but it could be here. That connection, whatever it is, whomever it's with, it's over. Something about it is over, if it's not over completely. Some factor or that's not right, but they want me to say faction. They want me to say that faction is over, but I mean some factor in that relationship is over. Some element of it, some aspect of it is over. Justice and 10 of swords. Justice again, because you had Empress, so that's Libra. So for those where you're dealing with a Libra, that might resonate a little bit more for you guys. But justice is a card about fairness, balance, equality, equity. finding a peaceful resolution that satisfies all parties. And that's kind of what we go to court about, right? Because we had courthouse up here, right? When we file anything in a court system, we're looking for a fair outcome, even if it's not fair to all sides. But that's the point of justice. The justice system, I should say, is meant to be blind, meant to be impartial. So some of you are going before a judge, going before lawyers, trying to get to some sensible, fair outcome. In other cases, you or the other person is trying to, rake you over the coals, is trying to bleed you for everything you've got, whatever that means. Because why do I say that? What's right next to it? The damn Ten of Swords. Again. Right? So, while you or someone else, or this person who is, okay, that's how it is. I'm like, why am I about to justify this? So if someone's trying to harm you, or you're trying to harm someone else, that is subjectively what this energy feels is correct. If this is about divorce, if this is about alimony, what's that song? Even though it's not specifically about divorce, Hit 'Em Up Style by Blue Cantrell. Those people of a certain age, you know what that song is. And ladies, if your man wanna get buck wild, just go and hit 'em up style. Whatever. Go Google that. Listen to it. It's not about alimony. It's not about going to court and filing paperwork. It's about exacting your own justice. When you feel mistreated, whether you are the true victim or not, someone here has an axe to grind, and they're going to grind it. And I feel they are taking justice into their own hands. They feel it's very interesting. Someone here possibly feels betrayed, and because of that betrayal, it has turned them into kind of a monster. And I'm using that word with a question mark because all of this is subjective. I'm channeling I'm channeling different energies that he said this, she did that, blah, 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 is pointing fingers. And the people pointing fingers all kind of feel like they're in the right, and what justice is on their side, or whatever is transpiring is good, even if it hurts someone else. Because maybe here it is. I was hurt first. I'm going to take you to court, or I'm going to do this, and I'm going to take you for what you got. And that ends up hurting the other person. It's like tit for tat. You made it this way. There was no other way I could have done this. I had to go this way about it. It's very strange. It's very strange in the sense of like both people, or two sides or three sides, however many sides of this there are, feel vindicated, or not vindicated, validated. They feel affirmed in what they're expressing, right? Dicey energy is what this feels like, because the grander scheme of things, the bigger picture is this is all petty. No offense. I'm not trying to undermine or belittle what you're going through, but the ascended vision or the ascended viewpoint of this is that's petty. That's petty. Oh God, this is so, I don't like that. Hold on. Well, I like it because it's clear, but it's hard. It's going to be hard for me to describe it. So let's put it this way. Little personal story. A little bit of a personal story. I was at a low point several years ago, and someone came into my life very significant. And I thought that person was like, they walked on water. I was so naive. And I really looked up to this person. And I was appreciative of everything they did for me because they helped me out of a jam, and they really helped me turn my life around, right? And because we had that bond, I was like, through thick and thin, this is my person. We're gonna ride this till the brakes fall off, right? No. That relationship, dead. Totally dead. At this point in my life, no connection. And for a while, I was like not able to appreciate what it was. What it was, a turning point for Jay's life personally. A chance for me to uplift. I was totally uplifted. I ascended so many levels in that relationship, yeah? So now that I've had time away, I've lost the bitterness. I've lost the hurt. I've lost the feeling of being betrayed. And I was betrayed. I absolutely was. I know I was, right? It was pretty much confirmed to me, okay? And that made me feel some type of way at that time. But, retrospect or hindsight is 2020, right? I can see it much more clearly. That was a significant relationship that was meant to put me on the path I'm on right now. Right? If you're living this right now, you don't know what I just said. You haven't not that you don't know. You're not going to be able to appreciate it because you haven't had the time away, the distance, the time to gain reflection, right? So I hope that makes sense, because I can understand this, but I know that that's not the way you want to go about this. So the other part of why courtship is the central focus of your purpose, Lord, is the moon and 6 of Cups. So you or someone here, Virgo, is uncertain. Like I just said, why did all this happen? Who is this person to me? Why were we connected in the first place? What is the quality of our connection? You don't know, but and there's question marks all around this. Moon card, major arcana for Pisces. You could be dealing with a Pisces. 6 of Cups, one of the cards of soulmates in the tarot deck. If you've been with me before, here comes the caveat you already know, so plug your ears because you don't need to hear it. But if you're new to the channel, here's my caveat about soulmates. Soulmates do not mean they're in your life forever. Soulmates do not mean romantic relationships only. Soulmates do not mean they can't hurt you or that they won't hurt you. There's no such thing as a perfect person. Therefore, what would make someone a soulmate or what would make a soulmate connection perfect? That doesn't exist. Soulmates, in my estimation, from what I've studied, from what I've learned, they're here to give you lessons or enlighten you to certain things and help you grow on a spiritual level, the soul level, right? They could be in your life for a long time, a short time, forever, or you might not even, and that's sort of also the underpinning of a soulmate, is you have many in this life and you might not ever meet them personally. You might know them secondhand through a mutual friend or something. Oh, I've heard about you. Something like that. So the quality of the soulmate relationship is always questionable. It's never a guarantee that it's going to be a love relationship and that it's going to be an overwhelmingly positive relationship. It can go that way. It can develop to that or go the other way. It could go from being really positive to incredibly negative, right? It could go either way. So please be open-minded about it. However, Virgo, you have one here. And that's like one of the easiest times I've gone into soulmate energy. You have one here, but you don't understand it. You don't see the purpose. You don't recognize the nuances of the lessons you were meant to teach each other. You might still be teaching each other lessons. You might teach each other lessons for the rest of your life, but will you be close to one another? Who knows? Will you be in union? From everything I said before, it doesn't look like it, right? But that doesn't mean it's not significant. It doesn't mean this person isn't important to you. And it does not mean you don't love them. But because some of you might be struggling to see this from the spiritual side of things, going back up here and here, but mostly with what we were talking about with courthouse, you may not be at the right stage, quote unquote, to see what this is and why it was or why it is, right? Another thing that I see a lot of people talk about, especially in romantic relationships where that applies for some of you, the reason you have a karmic partner is so that it prepares you for your true soulmate. That could be what's going on here for some of you. And that is something you or they or the pair of you don't necessarily agree with or understand or appreciate. Because if this was about a commitment of any type, I'm talking specifically to those where it is romantic, but this could be the same of business. If you signed on the dotted line, if you made vows, if you made promises, if you set up, a co-bank account and all this stuff, and you intertwined your lives, and it was solid, why then is it dismantling? Virgo doesn't like that. Even though you're a changeable sign, you're a mutable sign, you're earth sign as well. So those changes, when they happen and it's not at your discretion perhaps, or you never saw it coming, you don't like that. You don't like to be unprepared. And this feels like someone here was not prepared, or someone here was a little resistant or reluctant the entire time. But going back to what I was saying, soulmates can prepare you for other soulmates. Soulmates can set you up, set the stage, so to speak, for you to go into a different relationship, whether that be a soulmate. It doesn't even have to be. It doesn't even have to be you leave one soul connection and go to another. It could be, but you could just be going to, the next relationship in your life, period. It doesn't have to be a soul connection. Wow, I've rambled on so much with this one. Let's go ahead and get to your fifth and final position, which is, interestingly enough, about soul connection. So if you do have a soul connection of any type, could be a soulmate or a romantic soulmate, could be a friend, a family member, whatever. If you do have one, what is the central focus of that connection? Great fortune. What is going on? What is going on with your energy? Your reading is like tripping me out a little bit. Okay, so card 26. Great fortune. Add that together, that's an 8. So you could, this is very specific for some of you Virgos. You have a soul connection with someone that you've had one with before, and you might come from the same family, soul family. And that family has something to do with richness, rich in the world, like creating richness, having it. And when I say rich, I don't mean like billionaire status, although in some of your cases, maybe, I don't know your life. But I mean like rich as in stable, rich as in not wanting in the physical. There's something very specific about not wanting or needing money because it's always there. Not worrying, maybe is the way I should say it, not worrying about these things. It could be another way, like some of you have that established already, and that's like the central purpose or focus of a specific soul connection with someone. Again, it doesn't have to be this same person we talked about over here, because that courtship card in the Six of Cups came out. I didn't know that was coming out, but there was mention of soulmate there. I could be talking about a different soul connection, a different soul person to you, soulmate to you, okay? For some, so it was there, it's provided for. You might come from inheritance or something like that, right? For others of you, there is a soul connection that you have yet to establish, or that will eventually lead to great fortune, right? You might have someone now who is not on this board that I've mentioned before, that you have yet to sort of strike gold with. Now, great fortune, even with the imagery here, because what's that? Yeah, because that's not just money coming out, is it? There's clovers, right? God, I'm gonna need glasses soon. There's clovers, some rings. So I guess it is mostly money, but I'm gonna expand it. Because, well, I don't know what you believe in. But these are like, sort of staples of good luck and money with the gold rings and the clovers there, right? But I also want to extend it to like other things that you need in your life. Like a house, a good job, you know what I mean? So I feel like maybe in some of your cases, like I said, where this is a business relationship, you might have had a good business partner for what you were doing previous to now, and as you dissolve that relationship, you move into the business relationship where you and that person are actually going to make so much bank. That could be happening. Now, we didn't start to clarify because I didn't say anything, but you do have the Queen of Wands popping out. Fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Could be dealing with one of those signs, but you don't have to be. That felt like maybe for some of you an affirmation on who that person is. In terms of who you're going to work alongside, who you're going to partner with in order to bring in great fortune to your life. If so, they're creative, they're sexy, they are fun, and they have a lot of energy. But let's go ahead and clarify why great fortune is here for Virgo. And this will be the last reading. There will not be an oracle card because look at all this. What you need an oracle for. All right, so let's see. For Virgo, why is great fortune here regarding their soul connection with another person? What does great fortune have to do with their soul connection with another person? They like that. That's good. All right. And I can't. This table, whew, I'm putting it through its paces. It's going to die on me one day. Hopefully not soon, though. All right. So for Virgo, soul connection, why is great fortune here regarding their soul connection? Okay, that's popping out, so they want me to take that. Soul connection. Emperor. Okay. Okay. One more, please. All right. So, let's see what we got. The first card was Eight of Swords, Emperor, and the Hermit, your own energy. Okay. So, Virgo, I feel like, because throughout the reading, there's been varying levels or possibly different waves of awareness and seeking enlightenment or seeking clarity or wanting to be away from trouble, away from drama, away from misunderstandings, away from whatever, right? And then there has been energy that's been putting in a fight. And that could all be self-contained, by the way, you know. But what I see here, okay, there it is. I was like, wait a minute now, what's that? Okay, so remember when I said for that first group where you might have past life soul connections, and those soul connections might be heavily based around abundance, finances, richness, whatever that means to you, however much money that means in the bank, I don't know. But there could be this ongoing storyline, or not even storyline, an ongoing plot point or theme to your life when you come here to Earth, however many times you've been here, that revolves around fortune, right? And that could be where someone feels stuck in that plot point or stuck with that trope in their life. And I'm getting the sense that maybe money for some of you, not all, is a triggering thing. It triggers you, or someone uses it because they know it's your trigger, right? What do I mean? Remember, this whole time we could have been talking about family. And if we were, I mentioned before, the word inheritance. I don't know much about it because I don't come from that type of line, but from what I've seen in the movies, and just generally what I understand is sometimes you can stipulate how a person spends their inheritance, how a person gains their inheritance, what a person, when a person has access to that, okay? Or if not inheritance, what's the word? Is it a fund? What's it called? Oh, damn it. Oh, I forget. But like, it's like money you set aside for somebody and they have access to it. But if they break these protocols or if they don't follow these rules, they don't have access. I forget what that's, it's like a fund. Trust fund. Is that it? Trust fund. There you go. So some of you might have a trust fund, or you might have one for your children, and there might be fights about that. There might be disagreements about that. And someone here, you or them or whoever, feels stuck, feels isolated because of this. I can't have my life the way I want to because this person says I can't spend my money this way. And I don't know if that's right, quote unquote. I don't know if that's fair, quote unquote. But I'm sensing someone here feels it's unfair. Also, stipulations. Yeah, it's like you won't have this if you do that. So, this is infringing on someone's personal freedom. That's why I'm like, I don't think I like this. Because I understand the power of money and finances and stability. I understand the importance of it. But I come from a cloth, or I come from whatever I come from, whether it's just purely how I was raised or what is going on with me in my personal spiritual journey, I'll be damned if I have to sacrifice my personal anything just for cash, just for that. And again, that's not my life. That hasn't been my journey. I was just talking with someone about this the other day, actually. A friend of mine, because a friend of theirs talked about moving out, and in the process of moving out, having their rental paid for or having something paid for. And my friend was just like through the roof at how terrible that was, how, just, it was something that my friend said, well, I can't respect them because of this. And I said, well, that's their life. From what I understand of the situation, being like the third person away, like from not just a secondary place, I'm like 3 people away from this. It seems like that's the way that person's life has been led. Therefore, it's normal to them. Versus someone like me or them, they were just like, I don't understand this. It's not for you to understand. But similar story here. Even though I, as a individual, don't like this feeling, and I assume whoever's in this energy, they don't like it either, they're settled with it. They might be sort of, what do you call it? Oh my God, what's that word? Apathetic, thank you. They might be apathetic about it. It is what it is, that dreaded phrase that I hate using, but that might be their mindset. It is what it is. This is how it's always been with my family. This is how it's always been in my marriage. This is how it's always been with my friendships. That people or the circumstances heavily revolve around money, considerable money, since it's not even about cash. It says great fortune, okay? And it could also be someone knows that they are dependent on that fortune. Without it, how could they live? They don't have a concept of that. So with the Eight of Swords, you see someone convinced that their lot in life is what it is. There is no changing it. There is no escaping from it. That is a ruse, because what do we see there? She's not even bound in this deck. Look at that. The strings from her wrists don't even tie together. And that bandana or whatever, not bandana, that visor or whatever that is, that blindfold, easily removable because her arms aren't tied together. And then what do you see? These swords are so spaced apart that even without a blindfold, if she just shimmies and kind of feels around in the dark, she would see, oh, I could just walk through this. So this is a self-imposed illusion, or a self-perpetuated illusion. Second card that came here, the Emperor. This could be something to do with dear old dad or some father figure in the scenario. Could be your father, their father, grandfather, could be older brother, uncle, cousin, whatever. Could be a boss, could be a husband, could be anything. And I'm using all these words that lead to talking about males, but because it's tarot, I will open it up, and yeah, they're like, it's mostly men, but in some cases this is a woman who behaves this way. And that could be like a single mom kind of thing. Like, I raised you the best I knew how with an iron fist. And you're like, but mom, all I ever wanted was a hug. Well, you're not getting it now, but here's, 50 grand. Have a good day. Bye. But that's what I feel is like someone here in your soul connection, Virgo. They're not affectionate. Whether this be someone from your past, like when you were growing up, someone who has access to the fortune, like I said, with the trust fund and all that stuff, or whether it's someone in your current moment, and not that you have a trust fund to call upon or go to for all your financial needs, but maybe you've got like a nice, nest egg set up somewhere with this person. Again, this could be a partner, this could be a relative of yours, like a brother or something like that. And there's just like this restriction from this person. I feel constricted. Thank you. Not that they are like physically like, somebody who grips tightly. They could be like but there it is. They don't, this person is like tightly wound. They're not very emotional, and they're hard to read, hard to connect with emotionally. And again, soul connection. What's here? A damn statue, right? In your soul connection, statue. Restriction, or convinced restriction with the Eight of Swords. More toughness, more hardness coming from this Emperor card. Where soul connections, we like to idealize it as being soft and inviting and just a place or a connection where we can feel at ease. No, not this one. This does not feel easy. This feels very hard. This feels like, in some of your cases, love was demonstrated through physical gift giving, purchasing of high ticket items and presenting them as gifts. Again, dangling cash on a string. Well, if you want to get that, it's like, I don't want to knock anybody's life experience. It's so odd to me because it's like, it feels like dangling cash on a line. If you want this $25,000 so you can start your little Etsy shop, or not your Etsy shop, but if you want to do your online business, I'd be happy to pay for you. This could be the Emperor saying this. I'd be happy to, but you're going to have to do XYZ, XYZ, XYZ. A laundry list of things will have to be done first. Conditional. That is the damn word. Conditional. This soul connection, it feels conditional to someone. It's there. It's apparent. I was saying apparent as in APPARENT, apparent, like you can see it. But it could also be a parent, a space and the word parent. So for some of you, this is your parent. It's very conditional. I feel as though someone doesn't understand their worth because their worth is always tied to money, or the worth or their place in the world is always wrapped into their status, financial status, status on the job, whatever. Could, like I said, be a boss. They're not dismissible from your life. But you or someone wishes they damn well could be. Now, the final card here in the entire spread that we're going to talk about, but specifically to the mini spread, is the Hermit card. This is your energy, Virgo. Major arcana for Virgo. Lonely. Yeah. The Hermit card isn't about loneliness, but it is about spending significant time in the physical and in a conscious, aware way, being alone or feeling lonely, and then in the subconscious way also, right? The subterranean parts of our mind feeling lonely, right? So I feel if this is your upbringing where you were conditioned to think that your worth was based on how much money you earned, or, if you were wearing the latest and greatest of what do people love? I'm not a sneakerhead, but Jordans, right? They're huge, right? And if you weren't wearing those, you weren't shit, right? If you didn't drive this type of car, you ain't shit. If you don't make this much money, you ain't shit, right? That will lead to a person feeling lonely. I don't care who it is. And if they don't feel lonely, they are walking a certain path where there's not a lot of commonality between most people, because most people don't live that life. It's not to say it's, better or worse or anything like that. It's just the facts. That's just a numbers game. Most people don't live like that. To such an extreme that literally, if you don't get the item, the material item that same day, you ain't popping. Something like that has happened for some of you in a soul connection. Now, what I like here is that the Hermit is exploratory energy. So this feels like realizing all of this, putting those pieces together, because that doesn't just affect how you show up in the world and consider things of a financial status or in the financial sector of your life. That will also affect you in the professional settings. It'll affect your family. It'll affect your love prospects. There are some people in this world who basically miss the boat in romantic settings because when they look at someone's financial stability, they don't like what they see. Now, I don't have friends like this, but I've heard stories where based on your job, I'm going to date you or not date you. And that's interesting because a job is not a fixed thing. You can always change a job. You can always be promoted. You can always, get a new career and earn more money in that career. You know what I mean? It's not. So I've heard stories where people literally will not go on a second date with a person because the job that they learn that they have, oh, you only earn like, 30 grand a year? No way. I can't date you. And whatever reason, that's like a, Lord. So that's what I think someone is realizing. This path, this soul connection with family or soul family from previous incarnations has given someone a world view that leaves them feeling isolated, unfulfilled, and they feel stuck to it. But they don't want to be because of the exploratory nature of the Hermit card. Now I'm saying they. For some of you Virgos, that's not you. You're encountering someone who has lived that experience. You're listening to a friend. You're listening to your cousin twice removed, and that side of the family is like hoity-toity, richy, and you're just like working a regular job. And this person is like coming to see you or coming to, tell you their side of the story. Something like that. Okay? Virgo, we've been here for a minute. That is your reading for your birthday season. If you liked it, please hit the like button. If you want to leave a message or leave a comment below, let me know how this resonated. That'd be super cool. Feel free to check me out if you want a personal reading. That information is down in the description box again. And if you want to find me on Instagram, again, the link is in the description box as well. Once again, Virgo, I will be with you guys on, I think it was September the 12th. Whatever the second Saturday in September is, I will be live here on the channel for you guys, probably around 7 p.m. Eastern. So if you're free and you want to get a question answered through tarot by me, feel free to join. And then in a couple of days, you'll be seeing your September reading, and then sometime later in September, your mid-Septembers, okay? Virgo, I thank you all so much. Oh, excuse me. If you like this reading style, if you like this spread, even though it took forever, if you like it, let me know because I might keep it around for the next year. Leo seemed to like it for their season, so if you guys are into it, that might be a trend, and we'll see. But if you like this specific spread, just let me know, okay? Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. Take care.